Virgo, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Now, keep in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone, so make sure to check out your other placements to see what messages you may have there as well. Okay, my friends, let's get started. What is the energy around Virgo for the week ahead? Energy around Virgo for the week ahead. Oh, Virgo, we see that soulmate card coming out. You had a rough reading last week. Very intense energy around a connection that seems to have faded or come to its natural sort of conclusion. And we're seeing a carryover this week. Yeah, look at all of this. Okay, so you've got exchanging gifts and coming to the edge, coming out in reverse. So that tells me that there is this idea that in order for a new chapter to begin, you have to be willing to surrender to and allow another chapter to come to a close. I feel like we're seeing that reflected here in this orphan card, where you may feel like there's a connection that seems to be just leaving you in the dust, right? Like you sort of feel like you're getting left behind by someone, and it's feeling like a soulmate is not sort of in alignment with you anymore. You know, we're seeing that leg up card here with the soulmate card both coming through in reverse, which sort of makes me feel like someone has this task to sort of to leave a connection behind. You know, it's like your soulmate has been tasked with this oh boy, you know, this role in your life where they are meant to sort of walk away. And then that leaves you at this crossroads where you must decide, what are you going to do moving forward now without this person in your connection, in your energy. They're no longer connected to you. We see this time to go card coming through on the bottom of the deck, which sort of is showing up in the reversed position, I think, because you're not wanting to go. You're wanting this connection to stay. This is really feeling very similar to last week's reading for Virgo. Now that first card, I keep sort of, my attention keeps going back to it, that exchanging gifts card that came out first for you in the reverse. That, you know, whenever I see that card in the reverse, it sort of gives me this idea that it's okay if certain things don't work out, because that just means that you're meant for something else. And I know that that can sort of be difficult to hear when, especially when it's a connection that you would describe as a soulmate connection, where you feel really, really like this person is meant to be in your energy, and for some reason they're moving away from you. And sometimes when this happens, you might feel like you can't handle it. You know, you might feel like you just can't handle that kind of distance, that kind of imbalance. But really, this is still moving you towards your true path. And I almost feel like seeing this card come through for you this week makes me feel like in order to move ahead, you have to be willing to let this person go. And if, you know, I keep getting that feeling like if they're meant to be in a future chapter of your life, they're going to come back. Like, this is interesting because we do see that leg up card next to the soulmate energy. And, you know, seeing that really makes me feel like you're going to experience the return of this person if they play a role in what's to come for you. And I feel like you are moving ahead towards something, but you're stuck. You're a little stuck on this person not being a part of it. And you might not see that there is something here that is sort of flowing to get you out of your own way. That if you're trying too hard to keep someone around, it's important for you to sometimes have a look at this carefully, you know, to really see, is this happening to show you something greater? You know, is this person sort of have a sacred task to help you learn something, even if it feels really uncomfortable and really painful and really like it's so much to bear. You know what I mean? This is a very interesting moment for you to be asking yourself a question of, what is the gift in this situation for me right now? Do you know what I mean? How can I be evolved for the better during this painful time where it almost feels like I'm not being supported? You're definitely at a fork in the road here, Virgo, where you could almost sort of stay put in this energy of longing and yearning for someone, as opposed to sort of picking up on what the energy is telling you and moving forward towards something new, and trusting that if this connection is meant to return, it will. But for now, to sort of accept things the way they are, even though, you know, it might not be what you had in mind or what you had planned, it definitely feels like this is happening for a reason, and that, you know, these soulmate contracts are in play because there's something we're supposed to learn from each other. It's not always this idea that soulmates mean forever. It just means that this person has an important task to play in your life. They play an important role for your development and learning, and that it might not be forever. You know, sometimes it's just for the lesson, and then that's it. Then part of the lesson is letting this person go. Let's jump into the tarot cards here for Virgo and see if we can get some clarity here. There's the Magician in reverse. So you are being guided to sort of look at what your energy is right now. Are you sitting in a space of longing and yearning and focusing on what's missing, then focusing on the space that's being created potentially to exchange for a new path? There's that Page of Pentacles. So that tells me that there's sort of this message coming forward to you, that you're sort of going to be receiving this new inspiration, this new opportunity for growth and development. And there's the Ace of Swords, sort of also bringing in this idea of a new perspective, a new way of looking at things. That could be the guidance from this reading, is that you need a new perspective. The way you're looking at this connection right now is lowering your energy because you're focusing on what's missing, you're focusing on lack, you're focusing on wanting, and the wanting becomes the impediment. The wanting becomes the focus. And so it's almost like you're being directed to shift your way of thinking, believing, and the idea of sort of moving forward on something else. You know, you could be sabotaging yourself by overly focusing on this situation, which is my impression of your reading. So we see the Six of Wands here with the King of Wands, which makes me feel like by focusing on where you do feel movement, where you do feel expansion, that's what's going to lead to your success. And it could actually bring in some recognition or acknowledgement from the external world to sort of be like, how did Virgo do that? What is Virgo up to? Oh my goodness, look at what Virgo is creating over there. I want to understand that more. So really seeing that King of Rods there says to me that you're on the way to a breakthrough. And when I look at the bottom of the deck and I see the Tower, that is confirmed. It's confirmed to me that all of this shift is clearing out space for you. You're truly exchanging gifts. You're moving from one path to another path. But in order to do that, you have to be willing to let go of the past. You have to be willing to let go of things that are stagnant. You have to be willing to let go of things where there's no movement anymore. You've got the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, which really tells me that you're moving towards a new beginning. That anything from the past that no longer serves you, it's going to be almost removed from your path. When you see that Tower energy, this is outside of your control, Virgo. So it's almost like you need to start focusing on manifesting new opportunities instead of trying to sort of focus on shifting things that are outside of your control, like the presence of this other person in your life. It almost feels like they're bringing in the magic for you by leaving. Does that make sense? Like their exit is making room for you to have a new foundation, for you to have new connections, for you to sort of make your plans a reality, the plans that you feel within. Like I feel like you've almost got a couple of things going on here that are pretty transformative. You've got this soulmate connection that's ending, that's making way and clearing space for you to have new experiences. And so there's a part of you that's trying to hang on to that. I can see that. But there's also a part of you that's focused on something else. There's a part of you that's focused on this idea of bringing in a new creation, something that you feel like you can summon and create yourself, something that involves your unique skills, talents, and abilities, something that is like you're going to be the leader of this, and it will be ultra successful if you can focus your vision on it. This is something that is fueled by passion and your heart. This is you building an empire out of sort of the collapse of the previous dynasty, if you will. It's interesting. It's almost like you're seeing things transform, and as they're transforming, there's a part of you that is like, yes, yes, yes. And then there's a part of you that's like, wait, not that. Don't take that. And it's almost like you have to be willing to let things come and go, and without trying to control that too much, Virgo. And I know that there's especially this connection here that seems to be a focus right now. But I feel like if you can let yourself accept it and focus more on this other venture that you're trying to build, you're going to find a lot of success there. And then maybe it'll make sense why that chapter had to come to a close in order for you to be ready and open for something new. There definitely feels like a new mindset, a new opportunity, something you're building from the ground up, but it comes with like your old life, or your new life is going to cost you your old life, that kind of energy. There's the Queen of Cups. So I can see how much love you have in your heart for this connection that you're trying to call back into your life. And perhaps it will come back once the energy is in alignment. It's not right now. And I think you feel I think the thing that you're hanging on to mostly is that you feel a little bit of remorse or regret, or sort of this emotional component when it comes to this connection, that you want to see it move forward. You don't want to see it end. You want to see this person as part of this empire you're building. And perhaps they will be, but there's that Ace of Swords again coming in to say, hey, wait a minute, we need to shift our perspective on this. We need to shift our perspective. It's almost causing a mental conflict for you, because it's like your heart and your head feel very differently about things. You know what I mean? Oops. And so let's see. Let's clarify that first Ace of Swords, because I feel like part of this new beginning is a shift in your mindset. Now there's the Eight of Pentacles. So that really tells me that you have the potential to become a master at something. You've got a lot of skills and abilities in this thing that you're trying to build. It's something that you do very, very well. But it's like we've got two topics happening in this reading. This new enterprise of yours that you'll be the leader of, and this soulmate connection that seems to be escaping. And I say escaping because I feel like even the energy of that person is very much on the fence. Like they're trying to separate themselves, but they can feel your energy as well. I feel like they can feel you as well. Yeah, there's the Devil. It's landing right where it needs to, That shows me, again, that this could be an earth sign. I really feel Capricorn energy here. And it could also be that you're really bound. You're stuck on this person. It almost feels like last reading, where it felt a little bit like an obsession, a little bit obsessive, not in a way where you've got anything to worry about here, but in the sense of you can't let this go. You've chosen to not be able to let this go in some ways, because you're keeping it alive in your thoughts, which is, I think, why it's landing here to clarify this energy, because not only are you keeping it alive by thinking about it all the time, sort of wondering about this person and thinking about them, but they can feel you doing that, because there's the Queen of Cups. So there's this interesting connection here, energetic connection, where when you think of them, they feel it. Again, I'm feeling that twin flame vibe, and it feels like twin flames in separation. And on the heels of this, we can also feel this new thing trying to take hold. There's a part of you trying to get this off the ground, this new project, this new way of doing things. It could be something to do with your job. It could be something to do with releasing emotions that are tied up in one area and trying to invest them in another area. We're seeing 2 8s here. We're seeing the 8 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. So you're really being guided to move away from one thing and focus on something else. That is the sort of essence of your reading. And when I look at the bottom of the deck, we see the 10 of Swords. So it's like there is a natural ending here. There is something that needs to come to the close. It needs to come to closure here. And I feel like if you can accept that, you can start a new cycle, doing something that feels like you have natural ability at it. You're very good at this. And I feel like it'll take off and be very successful if you can just keep focused on that instead of this connection here that feels like it's got to end. Look at that, 5 of Cups and the Death card coming out sort of as your conclusion to this part of your reading, where, yeah, you're not at a place where you can accept that this needs to be over for a little while, and I'm putting in for a little while here, because I feel like if I say over, you're gonna say, no, absolutely not, I don't accept that, but it's almost like something needs to transition in that relationship. And for now, it feels like there needs to be some distance, but we're seeing that 5 of Cups, which says that this is really hard for you to accept. It's really hard for you to accept that this relationship might need to be sort of accepted, that it's got to close down for the time being. Let's take another card. Look, 10 of Pentacles. I'm telling you, there's 2 aspects to this reading. There's this idea of this relationship that is sort of closing out. The energy around this connection is coming to a close, and the need for acceptance around that. But then there's also this really successful thing that you could be focusing on instead, that really taps into your natural abilities, talents, and skills. And it feels like there's so much opportunity for you to be successful and receive a lot of recognition for whatever this skill, talent, or ability is that you have, Virgo. And it'll be different for everyone because this is a general reading, but the general theme here is that I feel like you're being guided to focus on where there is movement and where you do feel this push to keep going, as opposed to this idea of this connection that has run its course. We see the Lovers in reverse here. So I'm feeling like there is that connection that needs to be sort of released. And that will, in exchange, give you a lot of energy towards something that has success written all over it. I mean, it's got success written all over it. It's just, can you disentangle yourself from this connection long enough so that you can focus on this enterprise as opposed to focusing on this relationship? This soulmate contract has been fulfilled, and I feel like you just have to come into acceptance to that. And when we see the Tower here, I feel like you don't have any control over this. And so it's like you're being guided to reinvest your energy where you do have control. And there is this enterprise that feels like it has success written all over it for you. But you've got to sort of reevaluate where you're investing your time and your focus and your energy. Let's see what messages will come through the Animal Spirits Oracle for you to close out this reading, Virgo. Okay, hang on. Let's give it a good shuffle here. For Virgo, what is the guidance here for Virgo. Final words of guidance here on this reading. Okay. So you got 2 cards coming out. We see here Dragonfly Spirit, Truth Transcends Illusion, card 22. So interesting. Truth transcending illusion, I think, is a powerful message for you this week, Virgo, because there is a truth in what's happening in this soulmate connection. And it must transcend the illusion that you can control it somehow. You must focus on this enterprise. That is the guidance for you. And we see here Cat Spirit coming out. Claim your independence. I feel like you need to claim your independence from this soulmate connection and to focus truly on the truth of the situation. It's interesting. Bottom of the deck, we're seeing the flamingo spirit coming through for you here. Embrace the in-between. So that tells me that there is a transition that's outside of your control here, a transformation that's outside of your control, and it's moving you towards something. And it's like they're linked somehow. They may not seem obviously connected, this soulmate connection and this enterprise, but it's almost like by letting go of one, you receive the other. And that's fascinating to me because they might not seem linked to you, but they are. There's a connection between this connection ending and this new doorway opening for you. And it feels like one has no control, like you can't control that connection door closing, but you are very much in control of how much of yourself you invest in this new beginning. And I feel like that's the choice you're being guided to make, even when we look at the Lovers here. It's a choice card, and we do see that Page of Pentacles coming through again, and there's the Knight of Wands coming through holding that beautiful Ace of Wands, which is right here. So it's like, go where the energy is flowing. Don't go where it's stagnating. It feels like that soulmate connection is stagnating because it's come to its natural conclusion. And now it's time to focus on where the energy is moving you to next. Embrace that in between. Embrace it because it's leading you to the truth. And it's guiding you away from the illusion that you might be focused on right now. I'm going to leave it at that for you, Virgo. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I really hope it's been helpful. And if it's resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. I appreciate your support so much. And if you're interested in a personal reading, I am running a special in December where all recorded readings are $44. So if you're interested in that, you'll find my email in the description below. Send me an email and we will schedule your reading. All right, my friends, as always, I'm sending you so much love and light, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care.